You've probably seen these bingo cards for the year 2020 covered in all sorts of doomsday scenarios, some of which are funny, others altogether too real.
Well, we've crowdsourced this one with your suggestions, and we're going to cover 3 of the possibilities in today's show. I'm Natalie So.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. Let's check out what's on our radar.
The military has ruled out human error and equipment failure as causes for an accident that killed 2 Marines and left another in critical condition. The accident occurred during a drill last Friday when the raiding craft that the Marines were riding in capsized in rough seas. The Education Ministry is promising to install air conditioning in all of the nation's schools by the summer of 2022. Despite Taiwan's hot climate, only 80% of high schools and just 37% of elementary and middle schools have air conditioning. Over the past few years, Taiwan has recorded a string of record-breaking temperatures, making air conditioning vital to student safety. But the government says there will be rules about when it can be used to make sure schools aren't wasting electricity. This year's bluefin tuna catch in Pingdong County's Donggang Township is the biggest in 11 years. Local fishermen caught 2,900 of the fish, double their catch last year. Good weather and a leap year are being credited for the bounty. But while seafood lovers may be excited, fishermen are bemoaning the fact that more fish means lower prices. And under the radar this week, we're staying in Donggang Township for a look at a stunning nighttime phenomenon along the shoreline. Locals are reporting what's called blue tears in Mandarin, a sparkly blue glow caused by bioluminescent microorganisms in the water.
And now for our words of the week. Andrew, ready to guess?
Yes, what do you have?
Okay.
Fabulous. Fun.
No.
Fear.
Fear, yes. Well, in Hong Kong, and actually throughout the world, people are a little bit afraid, or maybe very afraid, of what China may do with the new national security law. And this week I spoke with a veteran journalist there, Frank Ching, and we'll be featuring a part of that interview in today's show about what he thinks about that law.
Looking forward to that. You ready for my word?
Yes.
All right.
Victory. Voracious. Volume. Volatile.
Excellent.
That
So volatile
fits.
could be used to describe the entire year of 2020.
That's true.
It could be used to describe all of the things on our little bingo grid that we showed you at the top of the show. It could also be used to describe, potentially, the volcanoes in our midst. How volatile are they? I'll be talking about that in today's Taiwan Explained.
Great. Let's put these on the shelf.
Volcanoes in Taiwan. Well, we always knew that Taiwan was created by volcanoes, but we always thought they were extinct. In today's Taiwan Explained, I'm going to be telling you why they are creating a brand new volcano warning system for Taiwan.
All right. This is exciting, kind of.
Yeah, kind of scary.
Yes, but tell us what we need to know, Andrew.
All right, well, let's start off with telling you where these volcanoes are located. Now, if you live in northern Taiwan, you're definitely going to want to watch this.
It's hard to imagine a volcano erupting in Taiwan, but there are actually volcanoes in Taipei, including more than 20 in the Datun volcano group. And then there's Turtle Island off the coast of Yilan County. Taiwan's top research body, Academia Sinica, says that what were thought to be extinct volcanoes are actually active. The Central Weather Bureau's Lin Zuwei says there's evidence of a volcanic eruption some 6,000 years ago. Academia Sinica says that seismic waves suggest there's a magma chamber about 30 kilometers deep. And like a ticking time bomb, the Datun volcanoes could go off at any time. And in their path, some of Taipei's most populated districts, Taiwan's tallest building, Taipei 101, is just 15 kilometers away.
So, Andrew, how likely could a volcano erupt in Taipei?
Well, the last time it happened, as we just heard, was about 6,000 years ago. Now, in order for it to be extinct, it has to be 10,000 years ago. But still, 6,000 years, that's a
a long
chunk of time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So we shouldn't worry too much.
But still, we have this new warning system just in case, and it's a 3-tier warning system that I'm going to tell you about now. So first of all, a green light indicates normal activity. A yellow light suggests abnormal activity and means that a watch is in effect. And a red light is a warning that an eruption has taken place or could take place soon. So if there happens to be an eruption or is about to be an eruption, what's going to happen is they're going to send us one of those like presidential alerts like we get for a typhoon or a similar natural disaster. And what they do is they geo-target those text messages. So it'll send it to everybody that's in the vicinity that could be affected.
So how do they know a volcano would erupt?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that. So scientists are looking at three different things. The first is they're looking at changes in the Earth's crust. The second is they're detecting certain types of gases which may be released from inside the Earth. And the last is they're monitoring changes to underwater temperatures.
Okay, so we hope those things don't happen,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And that is our Taiwan Explained on volcanoes. Now, another hotspot we are worried about is Hong Kong. Last week, China enacted a new national security law there. It criminalizes vaguely defined acts of secession, subversion of state power, terrorism, collusion with foreign entities, and the highest penalty is life in prison. Now, how do people in Hong Kong feel about the new law? Well, this week I spoke with veteran journalist, writer, and professor at Chinese University of Hong Kong, Frank Ching. He tells us about the mood of the people there.
I think the mood, generally speaking, is somber. People are taking this very seriously. They're not sure exactly what's going to happen next. There are some people who are quite alarmed. There's a lot of talk about leaving Hong Kong, emigrating to somewhere else, including Taiwan. And a lot of people are also trying to scrub out what they had said previously on social media.
You know, people around the world are actually very nervous about the law too. Officials in Taiwan have been telling us here to avoid unnecessary travel to Hong Kong. Their American academics are saying that this law has targeted everyone on the face of the earth, because if you've said something that is offensive to China, they could, detain you if you're transiting through Hong Kong. Do you think that we need to be that nervous?
Well, I think it's better to be cautious, but this law really is a law about Hong Kong. So if people had said something critical of China in the past, and that had nothing to do with Hong Kong, I don't think that there should be any additional cause for concern.
Evan, for you as a journalist, as a political scientist, are you going to change the way that you express yourself, the things that you say, the things that you write?
Well, I've gotten messages from friends to be careful, and I will be careful. I won't do anything that I think is wrong, but I'll continue to do my job. I'll continue to write and say what I think, and I think that what I think is reasonable, and if I publish what I think, I don't think it should get me in trouble if the system itself is a reasonable system.
But is it a reasonable system?
Well, we have to see.
So you're not afraid for your own life and career?
Oh, well, I am concerned, as I said, the idea disturbs me greatly that somebody could knock down my front door, come in and seize me or do all kinds of things. And I have no recourse. As I said, I can't call up the police and say, oh, somebody's doing this thing to me, because nobody can help me. These people are above the law. So I think that is very concerning. But then the authorities, the powers that be, keep saying, oh, don't worry, don't worry. Only a very small number of people will be targeted by this. Like Hong Kong has 7.5 million people. So would very few people be 1%? 1% of 7.5 million is what? 70,000? That to me is a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Despite his concerns, Ching says he'll be staying in Hong Kong where he calls home. We'll have the full interview up on Facebook and YouTube.
Now, no one really knows for sure how Hong Kong's new national security law will affect Taiwan, but we are monitoring a couple different possibilities. A recent foreign policy survey shows Taiwan is the top destination of choice for people fleeing Hong Kong, so we could see a big influx of Hong Kongers moving here.
Presidential Office spokesperson Kola Shiotaka tweeted on Tuesday that the law is being used to pressure Taiwan officials in Hong Kong to turn over information on politically persecuted Hong Kongers. She says Taiwan will resist this and stand with Hong Kong.
An American journalist in Taiwan, Chris Horton, retweeted comments from a Beijing mouthpiece suggesting that even issuing Taiwan visas could be viewed as a violation of the national security law.
Now, some of the world's biggest countries, like the US, Germany, and Japan, have spoken out against the law. Now, what kind of actions can countries take? Well, Hofstra University Law School professor Julian Koo called on countries to terminate their extradition treaties with Hong Kong. He says it will help their own citizens, not just Hong Kongers.
Now, Canada has already suspended its extradition agreement with Hong Kong, but a lot of other major countries like the US, the UK, India, Japan, and even much of Europe, they still have those agreements with Hong Kong. Now, today we have already covered 2 of our doomsday scenarios on our Tai-pocalypse bingo grid. We're going on now to hashtag Taiwan, where we're going to cover the 3rd one.
This week on Hashtag Taiwan, I want to talk to you about Somaliland. Not Somalia, Somaliland. Now, I'm sure there's a few of you looking at your computer screen right now going, "Oh, that Leslie, he definitely failed geography back in school." But the truth of the matter is, I actually had to do a bit of geography homework for this week's hashtag. So this is a map of Somalia, and this is a region in northern Somalia that declared independence in 1991, which calls itself Somaliland. Now, I must stress that Somaliland is a self-declared independent state that maintains it is separate from Somalia as a country. Somaliland has its own government, president, passport, and currency. Last week, Taiwan and Somaliland agreed to establish representative offices in each other's countries. Representative offices aren't quite embassies, but they are a diplomatic mechanism. Taiwan and Somaliland have ambiguous international status. Somalia claims that Somaliland is part of their country, while China claims Taiwan is part of their territory. Neither Taiwan nor Somaliland are recognized by the UN. I'll let this next tweet say what's on most people's minds. Carl Tan tweets, "Urge y'all to follow some of the Somalilanders who have replied to my tweet here and learn about our newest ally." Sidebar. Somaliland and Taiwan are not yet official diplomatic allies. They've only just established representative offices with each other. Somaliland has been an independent country since 1991, yet Somalia falsely claims them as their territory. Sound familiar? With the beginning of Taiwan-Somaliland relations, people from both countries started reaching out to each other on social media and learning about one another. Katie Lilly tweeted, "Discovering Somaliland Twitter is like looking into a mirror of Taiwan Twitter. Here is the history of my under-acknowledged country. Check out this hyper-specific meme I developed. I know this isn't a perfect place, but here are the reasons why I heart it and hope it will improve." Ismail Sherwak tweeted, "I was too young when I was told that Taiwan is the country Somaliland should emulate and learn from. In my 20s, I am glad to see Somaliland and Taiwan as a friend. Together, we can push the world to realize our success stories and recognize our countries." It's really heartwarming to see Somalilanders this open and friendly to relations with Taiwan. Estlander wrote, "Taiwan offers us hope of survival. Landers are an optimistic lot, and they have been singing themselves to sleep with lullabies of recognition coming for 30 years. But on the darkest of moments, we always say, look at Taiwan, it survived and thrived despite facing a huge bully." That's actually really inspiring, but to think that Somalilanders have a lullaby about impending recognition makes me think that we should be the ones looking to them. Now, there are countless awe-inspiring and encouraging texts left on Katie's tweet. If you're in need of some heartwarming news, I urge you to check it out for yourself. I'll have a link for you in the show notes below. Now, all I gotta do is write an empowering Taiwanese lullaby that can inspire people for the next 30 years. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
In today's 3 Picks, we're going to take a look at pictures of our panda family at the Taipei Zoo. That's because Yuanzai celebrated her 7th birthday this week. And to make it a little bit more competitive, we only have one buzzer between these two guys, Leslie and Andrew. So whoever hits the buzzer first gets to answer. And you guys can do whatever you want to get to that buzzer.
I will slap that buzzer out of here just so you can't get it. I will do it.
So we get to see the real side of them, competitive side of them. Okay, so let's take a look at the first picture of the newest member of the family. You guys remember this baby? This baby panda actually doubled her weight in 10 days. Now, how much does the panda baby weigh? I told you guys last week.
26 grams.
No, more than that.
I'm going to say 56 grams.
No, 395 grams. She was 186 last week.
She was not that big last time you told us.
Yeah,
Not that big. Like a little marble.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at her older sister when she was about 6 months old. Let's take a look at these Yuanzai pictures. Okay, aren't these adorable? And about that time, she actually won a global internet vote. It's called the Giant Panda Zoo Awards. What award did she win? What category did she win?
There's categories in a Giant Panda Zoo Award?
Yes, around the world.
I'm going to say she won most photogenic.
Okay, that sounds nice, but that wasn't the award. Want to take a guess, Leslie?
I'm going to say that she won the most floofiest ball panda award. That's a thing, right? That sounds plausible.
Yeah.
She won Best Personality.
Aww.
Best Panda Personality.
Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, really, for 2 years in a row, actually.
Wow.
We all know those pandas go through rigorous personality tests.
That is true.
Asking them what they feel about current events.
I think she's an ENFJ. I'm not sure, but...
Okay. Now you guys gotta try for this next one, all right? Try to get this one right. Let's take a look at the parents, Tuan Tuan and Yuan Yuan. Okay, so the zoo tries in many ways
Wait, what are they doing?
to get them to mate successfully.
Take a nap.
Okay.
Using her as a pillow.
Yeah, they're trying. And what they do is like they gave him a bridal chamber, a pool. They kept him away for many months to see if they would, be affectionate when they saw each other.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to get them to mate successfully because of a small window that the female panda has each year when she's in heat. How long is that window?
Actually, I have no idea. I just thought I would get it first. I'm going to say...
You studied this?
It's once a year.
Once a year. How long is that window?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
I'm going to say 7 days.
It's actually 1 to 3 days.
Whoa, how do they know? That's really specific.
So they know. I think they measure, and so that's why it never worked out.
Do you know, it's interesting. I heard that in China they actually sometimes show videos of
sex
mating
videos.
pandas, like adult videos.
Pull a little Barry White, little
panda
Marvin Gaye.
videos. Panda videos.
Panda videos, yeah, not
Panda
humans.
videos.
Luther Vandross, you're fine.
So both of the little pandas were artificially inseminated. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, they're
Well done.
healthy and doing fine. And now let's take a look at the video of Yuanzai's 7th birthday party.
Whoa there! Clean up on aisle 3. It's Yuanzai the panda's 7th birthday. But why doesn't the birthday girl seem happy? Taipei Zoo officials say they expected Yuanzai to make a beeline for her birthday spread and devour the meal. However, they say Yuanzai is in the midst of a false pregnancy, so she's pickier about what and when she eats. Instead of chowing down for viewers, Yuanzai walks around on the wooden scaffolding for a bit, contemplating life. For her 7th birthday, the Taipei Zoo prepared 7 dishes shaped like Taiwanese delicacies. Fruits and vegetables are arranged to look like stinky tofu, Taiwanese sausages, and bubble tea. Even though the limelight has been on Yuanzai's baby sister who was born just 8 days ago, panda fans haven't forgotten about Yuanzai's birthday. One visitor brought her a homemade card and another wishes her good health. With so much panda activity going on at the Taipei Zoo, you might call it Panda-monium.
Welcome to this week's Taiwan News Quiz, where I once again am master of the news. Now, Natalie and Andrew, you guys complained that my questions are too hard. Yet again, I am in the hot seat. What's going on?
We want to challenge ourselves.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. You want to challenge yourselves. I like that. 60 seconds on the clock, please. Here we go. Which prominent religious figure says they want to visit Taiwan?
Dalai
Lama.
Lama.
Correct. After their protest of the legislature failed, KMT lawmakers took up what classes in what sport?
Karate.
Boxing.
Boxing.
I'll give that to you. It's okay. The Taipei Zoo recently successfully bred what animal for the first time? Hint, it's not a panda.
A monkey.
It's a dart frog.
That's
Oh,
right.
dart frog, that's
Yeah.
right.
Where
had
is
a
the dart
bacon.
frog from originally?
The Amazon.
Okay, I'll give that to you. Peru.
Peru.
Officials are considering giving school students the day off for what kind of extreme weather?
Heat.
Very good. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced it's reopening its representative office in which U.S. territory?
Guam.
Correct. A Chinese military official recently said that PLA can take over Taiwan in how many days?
Ooh.
3 days?
2.
7 days. It would take a week. Last question, and here's a doozy. Guys, Taipei City offers an unlimited monthly pass for MRT and bus riders for 1,280 new Taiwan dollars, which is $43.50 US cents. One user is thought to have abused the pass. How much value in MRT rides did they rack up on the monthly pass?
Like 3,900? 3,800?
5,000.
10,000 new Taiwan dollars, which is
what?
340 US dollars,
That's
7
crazy.
times what that pass is worth.
So we went to Danshui every day or something?
It's like, but even then, that's like one way to Danshui is like what, 80 NT?
So like how do you do that? I mean, do you share it amongst a bunch of people?
They're saying that the person who did it is just they are delivery. They're doing delivery, so
that
they're in
makes
and out all the
sense.
time.
So you just have to make sure you don't come in and out the same station, right? So you could go in the station, go all the way to Danshui, and come out like the station, like one stop from
I
yours.
guess so. I mean, either that or they're just riding the MRT for fun, just trying to get the best
Yeah.
bang for their buck.
Maybe I shouldn't have taught everybody how to do that. Sorry about that.
Taiwan Insider giving you tips on how to use a monthly pass, and that's this week's Taiwan News Quiz.
Now, before we leave you today, we want to thank everyone who helped us with these crowdsourced options here, doomsday options on our little bingo card. Do you have any favorites?
I have a lot. I think these are great ideas.
Yeah.
7-Eleven folds. I can't imagine Taiwan without 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that would be really bad. We should point out, too, some of these are very funny, but some of them are actually quite serious. So we're not making light of those. I think it's more like in tough times.
We need to humor ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Leslie?
And what did you like?
Guys, there's one that really sticks out to me. I mean, these doomsday scenarios are all horrific, but unstinky tofu. My tofu needs to be stinky. If tofu ain't stinky, there's no cheese on pizza, there's no icing on cakes. There's just nothing worth living for, you guys.
Oh, poor Leslie. It sounds very bleak. Now, if you would like to download your own copy of this Tai-pocalypse bingo grid, we'll have a link for you in the show notes below. So thank you once again for joining us for this inside look at Taiwan Insider this week.
Yes, and give us more ideas and comments below. We'd love to hear from you. For Taiwan Insider, I'm Natalie So.
I'm Leslie Liao.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. See you next week.